If you're thinking I look like I just stepped off a Star Wars set, that's fine, we're good, that's what I wanted. How to get started on YouTube. It's one of the most frequently asked questions I've had over the past 5 years, hands down, and I feel like I usually kind of give the generic, just be yourself, work hard and don't give up kind of advice. But today I want to give a lot of practical tips and tricks and stuff. I'm going to be super honest on loads of different aspects. I'm going to break it all down, and even if you're not looking to start up a channel, you might still find this interesting. This has turned into a career for me. It's been my job for over 4 of the 5 years I've been doing it, so I hope, well, I'd like to think I know a few things that might help you. I do have a little something courtesy of PicMonkey as well for you guys, which I'll get to soon. Something you can actually start using right now. PicMonkey kindly sponsored this video, so thanks guys. And diving right into the first point. These points are in no order, but that is value. Why would someone watch your video? Your videos, your channel? Why would they subscribe? All you have to do is ask yourself, why would someone watch this video? Is it entertaining? Is it inspirational? Is it educational? Time is very, very valuable, and these days people have very low attention spans, so your videos need to give something to someone. My best tip on this point is to make videos that you yourself would watch. Next, I want to go in with equipment and software, because I feel like this is where most of you tend to have questions of a more technical nature. This is where a lot of people fail right away. So they'll go out and spend a bomb on fancy equipment, and then they'll start making videos and they'll be like, where are my subscribers? Your content has to be there, but like content over quality, if that makes any sense. Like, someone could have the best camera, best equipment, and the video will still be boring AF. And then there's other people who don't have the best quality, who get millions and millions of views because their content is extremely interesting, they have a personality, or they're really good at editing. You don't need to be starting out on the bestest quality ever. I started off with a pretty cheap camera, and you know, I sat in front of a window, and like my quality went from this with really poor audio, like the camera audio. I thought it would be fun to, you know, tell you guys some things that you might not know about me, to then more filmic things, and I just kind of stick with this setup for normal YouTube videos because I quite like it. I think it's very pleasing on the eyes. I always have the lights in the background, but to let you know what I do use, I have, I'll show you actually. Gonna film it on my little vlog camera. I say vlog camera because this is just great for out and about while on the go. And now I updated all my equipment slowly over time. Handheld cameras with flip up screens are great if you're into walking around outside and all that kind of stuff, capturing stuff on the go. This is the setup from the other end. I have a ring light here. I do have soft boxes. Here's one, but they're not working right now, so I need to get new ones of those. Then I have a zoom mic on a little stand, which is actually for a telescope, which I just took off my dad. And then here I have the big boy on a random tripod from a camera shop, and those things are what I use. And I will generally plan out a video. Some videos take an entire team of people, like a short film, but something like this can be done in a day from concept to upload. Anything I definitely want in the video I'll put in bullet points so I don't forget, because I tend to ramble. And then I will get ready, I will set the video up, I will clap to sync the audio with the camera audio so it's easier to replace when I then import. I'll get the SD cards which have the files on them, and I'll use my little adapter thing, stick that into my MacBook Pro laptop. I did not start off with a MacBook Pro. I started off with a Dell laptop that was on its last legs, and it was a lot harder in the beginning, and it took a lot longer for me to make videos. But again, if it's not like your job and stuff like that, and if you're just kind of getting into it, it's good to just practice and just upload things just to get used to talking on camera and to get used to editing, because editing is where the magic happens. So yeah, I use Final Cut Pro. A lot of people start off with things like iMovie, like free editing things that come on their laptops, and that's fine. In Final Cut Pro you can do color correction, you can cut out all of the mistakes and the humming and hawing. You can make things funnier by like zooming in and
changing things around.
You can add music and just make the video into what it's gonna be. While I'm editing, I will always take screenshots for use for the thumbnail. And now The thumbnail and the text and all that stuff is so important. This kind of falls under equipment and kind of falls under my next point of marketing yourself. So your title and thumbnail are extremely important. So important that I am still, after 5 years, learning how important these things are. My little sister, who started YouTube about 1.5 years ago, gained over 100,000 subscribers in around a week. She had a YouTube video go viral. It got way over like 3 million views in a very short space of time, and it was because she had a kick-ass thumbnail, her title was great, and then the video followed through. So you clicked it, the video content was great. My sister also uses PicMonkey, which is what I recommended to her when she started, and it's what my YouTube friends recommended to me years ago. PicMonkey is my go-to photo editing and design tool on both desktop and mobile. Super popular with YouTubers. But yeah, like the world we live in is constantly becoming more digital and thus more visual. So it's becoming increasingly more important to figure out a way to stand out. YouTube is so oversaturated, and you'll probably notice your homepage is just full of neons and everything's just very so you gotta jazz up your thumbnails and even think about the thumbnail sometimes before or during making the video, because it's that important. It's like going into a shop and looking for something. The packaging is what will draw you in. So yeah, PicMonkey enables me to make my images stand out. Very user-friendly, very simple, and you can do so many things on it. They're launching new PicMonkey, so a newer version, and I can offer you 3 free months of exclusive access. There's a link in the description box, so you can click that after the video if you want to fool around and practice. But it's also great for Instagram, it's great for uni projects and stuff, so not just if you want to do YouTube. I'm a paying customer of this, and I have been for years, and I love this thing. So let me show you how I jazzify my thumbnails. This thumbnail for this video, for example, and this is a pretty basic one, I'm gonna go easy on you. You just Google PicMonkey, and when you're a member, then you can just click right in and press create to start a new project. I'll always select the image that I want to work on from my desktop, which is where I just save everything. And as you can see here along the left, there's loads of different things like text and touch up, effects and overlays, and I think that's what I want to use for this thumbnail. So I'm going to add my own, and I actually googled transparent YouTube logo and one came up in images, so I just saved that to my desktop. This is so handy, it brings it right in and you can instantly start fiddling around with the size and the direction of the text and stuff. Your text has to be clear to read. I can't emphasize that enough. I know this is ridiculous, but see this little bit of dandruff here? This was bothering me. It was making the hairs stand on the back of my neck. So I've actually used this wrinkle remover tool to blur little things before, and then when you zoom out you can't notice it at all. I'm sure that's not what that's for, but that's the great thing about PicMonkey. You can play around and it's so fun. Like a lot of these white lines you see on a lot of my thumbnails, I do those with the eye brighten feature on PicMonkey. Yeah, then I'll typically play around with the colours a little bit and tweak them to whatever my eyeballs think looks nice on that particular day. And then it's super important to put it in the right size for YouTube. So 1280 by 720 is the standard thumbnail size. PicMonkey will enable you to resize an image to fit for YouTube, so you don't have those annoying black lines either side of your picture. Also, when it comes to marketing yourself, so most YouTubers, most big YouTubers did a lot of collabs and grew their channels together as part of a group. You'll see this in all of the different communities around YouTube. Some people have gotten shout outs, some people have just collabed with a really big YouTuber, or some people get a lot of micro support from the community because they involve themselves. But what you'll notice is that people who are very successful on this platform tend to have gotten help somewhere, and I do think a lot of people forget that along the way, but it's so important to somehow get out there. That might be a magazine or websites sharing a video of yours that goes viral. It could be just YouTube itself giving you a helping hand with the algorithm promoting your videos in the recommended feeds and on the homepage. And like a lot of us when we started, I think, like for me especially, I remember I would see people being like sub for sub and all this, and I was like, I'm above that, I'm too good to do that. But what I did do, which I think is a poor practice, because I see people doing this on my videos all the time, every day. I don't delete the comments or anything, but I would comment and not ask people to subscribe to me, but I would make people aware that I also am a YouTuber, and it was my kind of way of trying to connect with people, because I used to comment on nearly every video that I watched. I don't have time to do that anymore, but I definitely did at the beginning, and it helped me to make friends. In those days I was more into the beauty kind of side of YouTube, and I grew, obviously because I aged, but I just started liking different types of content, so I grew away from all that. But even the biggest YouTubers like PewDiePie admit to doing things like literally direct messaging people to be like, hey, check out my channel, you might like it. Everyone has their ways. Everyone figures out a way of getting out there, and there's no rules for this. Like, obviously I don't know everything, but having a social media presence is really important, and figuring out whatever way to get out there, be it having a standout style and it's spreading through word of mouth, or utilizing hashtags and popular trending topics or tags or challenges or whatever it is. Do what you're comfortable with, because it can be daunting to reach out to other creators. What I would recommend is finding other people in your area around the same channel size-ish, because they'd probably be maybe uploading as regularly as you and be in a similar place to you in terms of skill levels and all that kind of stuff, and you can all learn from each other and stuff like that. And the thing with YouTube is as well, you'll make friends, and sometimes those friendships won't last because you'll realize that you're really not similar people. Just like in school or in a workplace, it's the same thing. People change. Some people grow bitter if you do well, and then others may want to take advantage of you. It is an amazing way to learn a lot about people, about yourself, about, I don't know, so many skills that they try and teach you in university and stuff like that. I feel like you grow, and getting yourself out there and all that, that's part of marketing, but it does have like nice benefits on the side other than reaching a new audience. Under this also comes YouTube search, so making the most of tags and your description box, and like I said, title and thumbnail of your video. The tags, just think, what would people type in if they were looking for my type of content? Don't put the wrong things in your tags. When I started, I did what most people do when they start, and they just put in the names of similar channels and all, thinking that will get me into the recommended feeds, and that doesn't work. The tags have to be really relevant to your title, to what's in your description box, to the kind of things that people are going to comment on the video as well. It's all metadata that YouTube takes into consideration when they want to promote a video. And use your YouTube analytics, which we all have access to. You can see what is your audience enjoying, what are they not enjoying so much. You can see how much of the video on average people are watching. So I, for example, have a very high watch time, which I'm really proud of. I can also see when people are not really engaging with something, and you know, you can use that to guide the direction that you go with your channel. On my next point, I want to say, do something different and stand out. And the main point I want to say under this is that YouTube already has H3H3, it has Philip DeFranco, it has PewDiePie, it has Zoella, it has Lily Singh, it has Liza Koshy, it has, unfortunately, the Paul brothers. What it doesn't have is you, and either your personality or your knowledge or whatever it is you want to do and bring to the platform. You need to learn to be comfortable in who you are and getting that across on camera, and that can take a long time. I used to emulate and kind of, I wouldn't say copy, but just like imitate people that I loved watching, because I don't know, I thought I kind of had to be like them to fit in or whatever, and I would speak like them, dress like them, do my room like them. I wanted a similar life to them. It was so ridiculous, and I don't know, I only really carved out my own space online when I started being true to who I am, injecting all my quirks and my personality into my content and doing stuff that I actually was passionate about and not just what was the cool thing to do at the time. Nothing is original, but you can still be unique. You know, every musician and artist and writer and YouTuber and whatever, they will all borrow like little things from here and there, all of their favorite places, and that just is this big conglomeration, like this new thing. For me, I reached out to my favorite YouTubers asking them what microphones they used, like Dodie and stuff, because I loved the clarity of voice in her videos. And then a lot of my favorite YouTubers have like lovely twinkly lights in the background, Zoella and tons of them. It just became this whole thing on YouTube, so I was like, I like the look of that, I'm gonna have some nice lights. People I became friends with in real life, I would watch their content and see the kinds of topics that they were covering, and then I felt a lot more comfortable to talk about that stuff myself. I've borrowed editing tips from the likes of Casey Neistat and YouTubers I've dated have given me advice on editing, and you know, my channel is definitely a mishmash of a lot of people, but primarily it's like me at the core, and I think that's what's really important. There'll always be people who will abuse the algorithm and, you know, do certain types of videos to get loads and loads of clicks, but those people, those channels will die off as quickly as they blossomed, because people won't stick around. They have to care about you or whatever it is that you're doing. If your audience aren't invested, they won't stay, they won't follow you to other platforms, and they won't support other future projects that you do. So I'm glad I made the decision early on to try and focus on creating a community rather than making videos for views, because I was doing like makeup videos when I started that would get loads and loads of views, but I just wasn't that into, you know, I'm not very good at makeup, and I didn't feel that was fulfilling me or getting my personality across. To me, getting 50,000 to 150,000 views per video is amazing, because those people are really there, and I feel this kind of group and connection to a bunch of people rather than just having random people dripping in and out. The final point is a really important one, and it is to be prepared for the hate that you will get. Every single YouTuber gets so much hate, and the more you grow, the more negativity you will attract. And before you get started, I would just ask you to mentally prepare yourself. I did, and well, I thought I did. It definitely wasn't enough. I was watching a lot of YouTubers, I'd heard them speak out about trolling and online bullying and stuff, and I thought I took all that on board, and no, I went through a really difficult time when I started my channel, adjusting to hate comments from complete strangers. For example, on videos I uploaded about my acne that went viral, there were really mean anonymous comments from people in my life as well, and people who just flat out didn't like me. I found that really difficult to deal with. But here's the thing, everyone doesn't have to like you. I don't like everyone. There's loads of people I don't like, and I'm sure you don't like certain people for whatever reasons. That's just life. Imagine if everyone just loved everyone. Like, that's just not the world. So online, I feel like that's amplified because of anonymity, and people can be really, really cruel and cutting, and people will say stuff about how you look and how you sound and your personality. They will analyze and judge any bit of information you give them. They will want to get at you, because that's why they're leaving those kind of comments in the first place. They're looking for a rise. This is how they vent. They're probably not the happiest in the real world, which is really sad. There's no reason a happy, fulfilled person with lots of hobbies and friends and stuff would feel the need to spend hours online being really cruel. So you need to remind yourself constantly of those things. I did talk a lot about this stuff in my book. The best way I've found to deal with hate is to just completely blank it out and ignore it. And I mute people on Twitter all the time, because I don't think you should change yourself to try and please these people, because you never will. So I like to just say things that are on my mind, and if people are gonna be really, really horrible, I just completely ignore it. On the other hand, I love constructive criticism, so you need to learn how to tell the difference between when someone is genuinely saying things to you because they want to help, it's coming from a place of love, but it can be really hard to hear sometimes, really hard to hear, and I've had to apologise for some things that, yeah, that self-growth is great, but anyway, there's a big difference between someone saying that they would love if you died or whatever, versus this. So prepare for it, and prepare for some awkward conversations in your real life, because I don't know, there's always going to be someone in your family or some friend that's really confused and freaked out by what you're doing, and I don't know, if they care about you and love you, they should just accept that that's your new hobby. It's 2018. Who doesn't put videos and pictures and stuff on the internet? That's the world we live in now, and I don't know, that's how I kind of reply to people, or else I just try and avoid the subject completely about my job and YouTube and everything. I just try and, like, I have a lot of friends where I never ever talked to them about this because I know it would be weird. They just don't get it, and that's fine. Finding the courage to start is the hardest thing, but you just have to start. You can't let fear hold back your creativity and all of the amazing gifts that you have to give to people, and you can't be a perfectionist either, because something is better started and done than constantly remaining an idea and something that you might do one day. Come on. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that helped. Remember to check out PicMonkey down in the description box, and thank you guys so much over at PicMonkey for sponsoring me and being a part of my little journey on here. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new, and I will see you again very soon in another video, probably my monthly vlog, which are my favourite videos to edit ever.